How's she going, boys? Mike here. Welcome back to Grampie's workshop. We have another outside woodworking project we're going to start up today. We were thinking the other day it would be a good idea if we had a ramp, because the steps, sometimes the steps are a challenge. A lot of people will know what I'm talking about there. But anyhow, we're going to build a ramp. That's going to be the project for the next couple of days, building a ramp. I originally was going to put the ramp, replace the steps, those little steps behind the camera, take those out, put the ramp in there. But Nanny and I were talking, and she came up with a really good idea that if we left the steps there, then when it's really icy and whatnot in the winter, it's safer going down steps than just go down a ramp. And the way we have the ramp, it's going to go off the corner of the deck, shoot over towards the barn, and that's where my wood house is, so I'll be able to bring the wood right from there, right up the ramp into the camp. It's a win-win. So that's what we're up to for the next couple of days anyways. We're going to build a ramp, so if you want to find out how to build a ramp in the woods, this is the place to be, boys. So this is where we're going to bring the ramp off. We're going to cut this railing out. I'll leave this post here, and I'll come over 4 feet, put another post in here, cut this railing back, and the ramp will come off this way, heading off towards the woodshed. So I think it's going to be a lot better this way. One of the things we have to do, though, is we have to discover, because I'm coming off at an angle, this is going to be a compound angle that I'm going to cut this 2x6. So we have to discover the angle that it's dropping down and the angle that it's offset to the left. So what I've done is, on this corner, my first 2x6 is going to come out here and run that way, about that angle. So I just turned it, I know that it's sagging, but I just turned it on its edge just to try to get a rough idea of what that angle might be. So if I hold my phone on there that says 11.6 degrees, now here's a little word about that. I did some research and I found out that a proper wheelchair access ramp should have a slope of 1 inch every 12 inches, which is about 4 degrees. So I'm at 11 degrees. Not even close, eh? But if I needed to build this ramp for wheelchair access, then I would certainly go with the 1 inch and 12 inches slope. But my ramp would be, oh geez, it'd be 30 feet long. Well, I'm not going to build a 30-foot ramp. I've got 14-foot 2x6s. That's what I have in hand. So I'm going to build my ramp with 14-foot 2x6s and just live with the slope. We don't need this ramp for wheelchair access. Knock on wood, not yet anyways. I hope I'm not jinxing myself here. But at any rate, that's what I'm going to do. So this ramp is not going to be to code. Don't even think about it being to code. But I am going to put railings on it. This is what I ended up with for the joists. They're not fastened up here yet on the rim joist of the deck. I'll do that later. Just sort of laying them out here. Just sort of laying them out, see how they look. So that's not too bad. So in an attempt to try to hold this piece all together, when I flip it over, I'm going to put another scab of wood right on the top here. And once I get this in place, I can take this piece off. So I was under the deck and screwed the joists in, so they're all set, but I was trying to hammer the nails in. Well, I just couldn't get at them from under there. So I had to come back up on the deck, take some boards off. I'm going to try and nail them in this way. That's how I'm going to go about hammering those nails in, taking the boards off. So we're at it again today, kind of overcast, wet and rainy, but anyways, the show must go on, as they say. I've determined where I want my posts to be located. I'm going to have 2 posts, well 3 posts down the ramp. One here, one a little bit more, and then one at the end. And what I want to do now is install these posts and make them plumb and vertical. So we do that old exercise again of trying to plumb up the posts. So I'll put a screw in that just to hold it, but I'll only put one because I may have to move it again. You never know, right? So I'll put a screw in here to hold this one. So we have our post set, and it looks pretty wobbly. So I'm wondering what I could do to stiffen that up. Put braces between the 2x6s. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to start putting deck boards on, and if it's still wobbly, like after I get, say, down to about here, then I'm going to look at putting some cross bracing in here just to sort of stabilize this a bit. So I'm trying to figure out how I can center these boards, or not center them so much as line them up so that I'll have enough to cover both sides around these 4x4 posts. I'm going to take this scrap piece of decking and I'm going to cut an angle to fit in there. So I'm going to go cut these and just see if I can make some jigs out of this. So now, if I line this up again, then if I take this, and if I mark that, go cut these off. So now, when I set my piece in, if I just put him right under the edge, that would do it, right? Not too bad. But before I go to cut that board, I'm just going to put some nails in here before I forget. Alright. Look at that. Looks like it was made for there, right? Don't forget, we've got to put end coat on it. And I didn't drill the hole and it split. Oh well. Here's some pallet holes. ready. I'm going to try and dig a hole right down in here, and then I'll set these last posts down in the ground. I don't know, foot, however deep I can go. I'm going to start with a foot, move the other side, cut a foot, and then see how deep I can go. So anyways, we're going to try and dig a hole here. Not sure how good this is going to work. Alright, I'm hitting the root right there now, so I think that'll do for that side. Hitting a rock. Oh, and a root. Surprise, surprise. So I started digging these holes to set the posts in, and I hit into roots and stuff like that. So what I have is a couple of deck spikes, post spikes here. I'm going to try and drive those down in there, see how I make out. Not sure how good this is going to work. All we can do is try. I think that'll work. So, the first one went in so good, I think I'll try a second one. Out. I got both of them in. So to give you a close-up view, there's the hole I dug, and then I put that deck spike in there. The deck spike is about, I don't know, 24 inches long or 30 inches long. So I drove that down so that the top of the deck spike is below the bottom of this 6x6.